From Baltimore to Washington, City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby testifies on Capitol Hill. Thanks for staying with WJZ. I'm Nicole Baker.
And I'm Rick Ritter. Now, she testified about marijuana reform in what was the first hearing in recent history where members of Congress are taking an in-depth look at injustice punishments for marijuana use and distribution.
WJZ Live tonight, Rachel Menitoff explains they are starting to talk about federal reforms now. Rachel.
Nicole, at today's hearing, State's Attorney Mosby explained why she's chosen not to prosecute criminal marijuana possession cases, and she also offered suggestions to Congress, including federal decriminalization and righting the wrongs of previous criminal marijuana cases.
There is no better illumination of this country's failed war on drugs than the city of Baltimore, Maryland.
State's Attorney Mosby argued before members of the Judiciary Committee that the priority for substance abuse should be treatment rather than punishment. Her remarks were part of a hearing on marijuana laws in America, racial justice, and the need for reform.
Whole communities are being ravished and have lost generations of mothers, fathers, brothers, sons, and daughters to incarceration and a cyclical poverty due to these convictions.
Mosby's testimony talked about the legal, social, and economic consequences of marijuana arrests and the racial disparity here in the city of Baltimore when it comes to arrests and convictions for marijuana possession and distribution.
Data shows the enforcement of these laws are overwhelmingly inflicted upon poor and black communities. It's been reported, as was already mentioned, black people are almost 4 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana possession in the United States than white people, despite individuals of both races using marijuana at the same rate.
Earlier this year, Mosby announced that her office would stop devoting resources to the prosecution of people charged with marijuana possession, regardless of their previous criminal histories. Her decision came as a surprise and stirred up controversy statewide.
Ms. Mosby is wrong. There are drug dealers in Baltimore City that need to be prosecuted.
Mosby's office also moved to vacate the convictions of 5,000 marijuana users, an effort that judges ultimately denied. At today's hearing, she suggested Congress remove marijuana from the list of scheduled controlled substances and regulate it, similar to alcohol and tobacco.
I refuse to accept the status quo any longer, especially when there's so much evidence that proves that we can be smarter and do better as it relates to marijuana policy.
Mosby also suggested reinvesting the money that used to be used to crack down on marijuana users into communities themselves. I'm Rachel Menitoff, reporting for WJZ.